Every morning starts the same way. The alarm goes off. You feel tired, not exhausted, just heavy. So you make coffee. The smell hits first. The warmth in your hands. That first sip that tells your brain, okay, now we can begin. And for a moment, it works. You feel sharper. Faster. Like today might actually be productive. But then something strange happens. An hour goes by. Then 2. You've answered messages. Opened tabs. Switched tasks. You've been busy the entire time. But the one thing you promised yourself you'd work on is still untouched. So you reach for the second cup. Not because you're tired, but because something feels off. You tell yourself this one will do it. This is the cup that will finally lock you in. And again, it works. You feel awake. Motivated. Ready. Yet somehow, by the end of the day, you're more exhausted than when you started. And still wondering where the time went. Here's the uncomfortable question no one asks. If coffee actually made us productive, why do so many people drink it every day? And still struggle to get meaningful work done? Why do we associate caffeine with progress, when progress keeps slipping through our fingers? What if coffee was never the productivity boost we thought it was, but a signal, quietly covering up something deeper? Today, we're going to talk about the lie we drink every morning. Not to attack coffee, but to understand why being awake is not the same as being productive. I want to tell you about someone I'll call Alex. Alex is a remote designer, smart, hardworking, ambitious. Every morning, Alex starts with coffee, just like you. But the pattern repeats. Busy work first. Important projects left untouched. The second cup comes mid-morning. The third, maybe after lunch. At the end of the day, Alex feels exhausted, not accomplished. This isn't a unique story. It's a pattern millions fall into. And it all starts with a simple assumption: coffee equals productivity. Let's define productivity properly, because this is where most people get it wrong. Productivity is not how awake you feel. It's not how fast your fingers move. It's not how many hours you sit at your desk. Productivity is output. It's finishing meaningful work. It's moving important projects forward. It's making decisions instead of avoiding them. Coffee does not give you clarity. It does not help you choose what matters. And it does not magically turn bad priorities into good ones. All coffee does is remove the feeling of tiredness. And removing tiredness is not the same as creating progress. Here's what coffee actually does, in simple terms. Your brain builds up a chemical called adenosine throughout the day. Adenosine is what creates sleep pressure. It's your brain's way of saying, slow down. Caffeine doesn't give you energy. It blocks adenosine. So instead of fixing fatigue, it hides it. That's why coffee feels powerful at first, but fades later. And here's the important part most people ignore. Your brain still keeps track of that fatigue. When the caffeine wears off, it all comes rushing back. Which is why so many people need a second cup, then a third, and eventually confuse stimulation with productivity. So if coffee doesn't make you productive, why does it feel like it does? Because your brain associates stimulation with action. The moment caffeine hits your system, your senses sharpen. Your thoughts speed up. You feel ready. And your brain mistakes that readiness for effectiveness. But speed is not direction. You can think faster and still think about the wrong things. Coffee doesn't guide your focus. It amplifies whatever your attention lands on. That's why after coffee, people often feel busy, but not fulfilled. Coffee doesn't fix productivity problems. It hides them. It hides poor sleep. It hides unclear priorities. It hides broken workflows. Instead of asking, "Why am I tired?" or "Why am I avoiding this task?" we reach for caffeine and push through. And over time, pushing through becomes the default. The result? Burnout that looks like ambition. Coffee didn't cause the problem, but it made it easier to ignore. Real productivity doesn't start with stimulation. It starts with structure. Productive people don't rely on coffee to create focus. They design their day, so focus has somewhere to go. That means knowing the one task that actually matters. It means doing that task before distractions pile up. It means working with your natural energy, not fighting it with caffeine. When structure is clear, you don't need motivation. And when priorities are obvious, alertness becomes optional, not essential. This isn't about quitting coffee. Coffee isn't the enemy. Misusing it is. Coffee works best when everything else is already in place. When priorities are clear. When sleep is respected. When the task is already chosen. In that context, coffee becomes a tool, not a crutch. It enhances focus instead of pretending to create it. Used intentionally, coffee supports productivity. Used blindly, it replaces it. So the next time you reach for coffee, don't ask, "Will this make me productive?" Ask a better question. Do I know what I'm supposed to work on? Because coffee can wake you up, but it can't choose your priorities. And no amount of caffeine can replace clarity. If you want to work less, produce more, and stop relying on stimulation to function, subscribe for more productivity insights that actually respect how humans work. Remember this: awake is easy, productive is intentional. If this video helped you rethink focus, productivity, and coffee intake, hit like. It tells YouTube to share it with more people who need to hear this. And subscribe if you want more clear, honest takes on productivity, time management, workflow tools, etc. without the usual noise.